Good.
Hello, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Brian. And we're the WVGamers. Today we're going to be talking about a game that was sent to us by Cameron Art Games called VOWL.
Have you ever wondered what happens when all the vowels are removed and all you're left with are the consonants?
We tried.
We did.
Tried. That's the idea behind the game VOWL. In this game, you're basically trying to figure out what's listed on the words that are listed on these cards when all the vowels are gone. So, like this one, you can't really see what it is, but it says D, G, and T. Basically, you're going to be trying to figure out what these words are. So, the goal of the game, if you can see this track, let's go ahead and move it over to the other camera. The goal of the game is to get your score track, your score token, which is at the front, to meet the little victory token that's at the back. And these two tokens will be moving throughout the game, and at some point, one player will get them to meet, and you'll win the game. How you're going to do that is basically you're going to be playing over a number of turns by rolling dice. Based on the rolls of those dice, you're going to have a die that has a number on it, and you're going to have one that has little owls. And Amanda will pull it up. There we go. So you'll see there's a 3 and there's a little owl symbols on it. Basically, each of those are going to tell you a specific thing that's going to change the way you're going to play. So in this case, we have a 3. That's telling you're going to draw 3 cards from this stack of green basic cards. And then the little owl symbol, which in this case is a single little owl, is telling you you're going to be playing that in solitary mode. There are a total of 3 modes that you'll be able to play in this game for your turn, and basically that's going to change up how the flow of the game is going to work. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Yeah, I guess let's talk about the types of cards. So you have your green basic cards. These are going to have usually the words that are a little bit easier to work with. So what's that one supposed to be, Amanda?
Voter.
Voter. There you go. Then you are also going to have your yellow advanced cards that are your slightly more difficult. What is that one?
I have no idea.
Is it Dynamite? Nope.
Dominate?
That probably works.
Yeah.
We should have probably picked words we knew before we started this. And then you have your red expert deck. These are going to have the much more complicated words that you're going to have to try to figure out. Which that one was, what did you say, novice?
Novice.
So we did those because we pre-stacked that one. But essentially what's going to happen is you're going to roll the dice, draw a number of cards based on the number that's shown, and then also the further up the score track you go, you're going to draw additional cards. So you'll see under like the different numbers, if you're at a 1, you're going to draw an additional green card that round. The second round you're going to draw 2. The third round you're actually going to draw one of the yellows. When you get up to the 5th round, you're going to be drawing one red, and so on and so on. So throughout the game, when you do solve the different puzzles, you're going to be moving your tokens, and you'll have 2 decisions. You'll either move your score track, which is at the front, the lettered token, up 2 spaces towards the end of the track. That's getting you further along. Or you can move that up 1 space and move the victory back 1 space. That, in the long term, might help you because you're avoiding some of the more difficult words. Although, once you get to the further back on the track, you may be dealing with less cards. So it's kind of you have to strategize how you want to approach the game. So some of the restrictions on these cards, what you're going to find is with the letters, there's only ever going to be 1 vowel missing from in between each of the consonants. So in the terms of this game, Y is considered a consonant and not a vowel. So you just have your 5 vowels that you're going to be working with. And again, only 1 letter is missing in between it in all of these. So this one is regular, and it's missing just 1. Now at the end of the word, there also may be a vowel, but nothing else after that. You are working with English words in English spelling, so American spellings, I suppose, is the way to say, because color can be spelled 2 different ways, depending on where it's being said. Proper nouns aren't allowed, so a lot like a lot of your word games, essentially. And yeah, I think that was pretty much everything. Anything else you can think of?
I don't think so.
All right. So to give you an idea of how this game is actually going to play, we're going to go ahead and mock up a little bit of a game. So Amanda, you're going to go first. Typically, the way the first player is determined is whoever is first in the alphabet, which Amanda is.
Okay. I got a 4 and a single owl. So that means I will take 4 green cards.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And because she's at the 0 space, she doesn't take any additional cards at this point. So what she has is what she has. Oh, did you look?
I did.
So yeah, you don't look at any of them until the timer starts. Now, we don't actually have a timer, and I'm not going to grab my phone or anything. So we're just going to kind of count in our head to figure out when it's going to be. So, Amanda,
Oh,
go.
gosh. Somehow. Before. Royal. Jokes.
Okay, she got that in about 10 seconds or so. We're going to say that was 10 seconds. So, since she succeeded, she's going to make a decision whether she wants to go forward twice or she wants to bring her 2 tokens closer together.
I'm going to bring my tokens closer together.
Okay. She wants to try to probably pull that in past that 8 so then she doesn't have to do 3 additional cards at some point. Go ahead and roll it for me. It's going to be the same style back and forth. Was that the same thing you just did?
Get to 4 solo.
We're going to say that that was a 5 just for so you're not seeing the same thing twice. And probably fail. That increases my chances of failing a little bit.
Oh, look, it's a 5.
Oh, no. Look at that. It's magic. So, Amanda's going to count in her head 15 seconds, and I'm going to see if I can solve all of these or not. Tell me when to go.
Go.
Major. Mimic. Several. Maker. I know what this one is, but I'm going to act like I don't for a little while, so then timer will run out sometime, anytime. Is it time?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I couldn't get one of them. It's medic, but that's fine. So at this point, since I didn't solve it, it just goes to the next person around me. So if we had multiple people around this table, I'd basically go round, so we actually went in reverse order, but it would go round in a clockwise pattern like most games do. So we're going to go back to Amanda's turn. Roll again.
Okay.
All right.
I got 3 and then the team.
So at this point...
or partner.
Yeah, so she has partner. Now, partner works a little different in 2-player and 3-player games, so we're going to imagine that we have a 3rd player. Oh, look at that. It's Halloween Cthulhu. He wants to play. So Amanda at this point would choose somebody on her left or right to be her partner. Of course she's going to go with Cthulhu. Cthulhu's all right. Always right. And if I say otherwise. So at this point, what she's going to do is she's going to draw the cards based on the die, the cards based on the space she's on, but because she's also in a cooperative mode, she's going to draw an additional 3 because there's 2 brains working together. So, okay, go for it.
Oh, come on, Cthulhu. Let's do this.
So now they're going to go cooperatively, and they're just going to look at 1 card at a time and shout out their answers. Go for it.
Oh, gosh. Visit.
Rebel.
Rebel. Oh.
Divide.
7. Divide. Valid.
Let's see if they can get the...
Come on, Cthulhu!
I feel like we had this one, yes.
I think so, too.
It's probably been 15. So the combination of them did not succeed. However, let's imagine that they did succeed. What would happen is Amanda, being the active player, would advance first, whichever way she would want to.
Bloop, bloop.
And then Cthulhu would choose what he was going to do next. The reason that's important, because what happens if Amanda was in a position that would allow her to win? She getting to go first, meaning she would be the winner. So that's the order kind of matters. There is in the instructions what would happen if there was a tie, but based on the way they've written their instructions, there's really unlikely to have a tie because they have an order based in partner. But let's say it's my turn and Cthulhu walked away from the table because he wanted Cheetos to make himself more orange. So it's just me and Amanda in a 2-player game. Obviously, she doesn't want to help me, so she would sit there and just shout out pass, 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 pass. Because if you don't know a word, you are allowed to pass, put it at the bottom of your stack, and continue until you return to that. But because she doesn't want to help me, because she's mean, what we're going to do is she's going to draw all the cards that we would have normally drawn. So in this case, we would draw the 3 for the die, 3 because of the cooperative. She's going to look through those cards and choose 3 to discard. Basically, the 3 that you would have for the extra brain, you're getting rid of. So go ahead and choose 3 to get rid of. Just pick any 3. She's really thinking this one through. So now I would have my cards, and if I had made any progress on the track, I would grab the additional cards based on that. But I didn't, because I'm bad at word games. So at this point, we would flip the timer and go over and continue in the same way, much like it was solitaire, but instead she just got to choose some of my cards. That's just, again, a little variant for the 2-player. So I went through this, and let's say that I did really good. Or do you want to see me try to do really good?
No, you can do really good, because I gave you the wrong stack.
Okay. Native, beverage, and, Bower, whatever. Yeah, I totally got it. So I'm going to go 2 spaces, just for the sake of. And then, Amanda, roll the dice for yourself, and let's hope that you get the other one.
Nope. Oh, but I got a lot.
Flip that over to the other one. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And suddenly, we're at a head-to-head, the last mode in the game. So in this case, we're each going to draw cards based on our relative positions. So we are actually both going to end up drawing 5 cards, because we're both, 5 cards plus 2 additional cards for our location. So again, not looking. And this is going to work much like the solitaire mode. We're going to flip it over, we're going to shout our words out, just throw them down, and then whoever happens to have solved more or finished first is going to advance. We'll talk about what happens if the tie happens. Let's see if a tie happens. Head to head?
I don't think so.
And we don't have a timer, so we're just going to have to one of us go bzz at some point.
Okay.
And let's go. Oh.
Cover. Legal.
Doctorate, bagel, comic.
Laser. Mobile. Behave.
Lemonade? Oh no. Oh no.
Oh.
Dicer. So at that point, I hope you have 2 cards left.
I do.
Okay. So we both solved five cards, and we have 2 cards remaining. So we've tied. What happens is we go into a sudden death. Another player at the table, or I guess one of us, will grab one of the red cards and flip it over, and whoever shouts out the correct word wins the sudden death and basically gets to decide on what they're going to choose with their score. Even if this isn't the person's active turn, they still get the score. So head-to-head's a little bit challenging. And I think, I don't know if I mentioned it, but in head-to-head, you get to pick whichever opponent at the table you want to go against. So let's go to sudden death. Ready? Ready? Can't be that. Can't be that. Oh. This is where we should have stacked this deck with something we could have done. At some point, Amanda shouts out the right word, and we're not gonna.
I got nothing.
We're not gonna try it. Amanda shouts out the correct word, and she gets to advance. Now, go ahead and let's say that your points were a little bit closer, within 2. So Amanda is at.
Like that, or you want that?
Yeah, like that. Amanda, at this point, before that, was at 5 and 7. So she gets to decide what she's going to do. Regardless which option she goes with, she's going to win the game. So what are you going to go with?
If I'm here,
yep,
I'm going to go 1, 2.
And because she went up 2 spaces, her little victory star and her little score token are on the same space. And if for some reason they exceeded, it would still count. And Amanda would win the game. And that is the basics behind VOWL. So, what do we think of VOWL? We played it a couple times now. I think it's a really fun little game. It's, I've played a lot of word games, and I thought, okay, this won't be that hard. But then once you realize you're only removing 1 letter between each of them, a lot of these look like other words, but once you remind yourself, there's only 1 letter missing, or 1 vowel missing.
Yeah. It's hard.
that makes it very, very difficult because your brain is immediately going to those words that you think. Because I remember last night we had a card that I kept thinking present. And I was like, no, that can't be it because you're P and R. There's no space there. And it was very, very difficult to try to play through.
Yeah.
So, your thoughts on it?
I was never a good person with spelling whatsoever, so this was a very difficult game for me, but I enjoyed the green stack. For some reason, I have better luck with the expert deck than I do with the advanced, which is kind of weird to me. But I really enjoyed this game.
And if by some chance you're thinking, well, that doesn't sound that difficult, there is technically 4 ways to play this game. There's the green side of the board, which is about a 30-minute game on average, because this supports up to 2 to 5 players. So the green side will average you about a half an hour-ish. Then you have the red side, which is a longer board that has a lot more complicated number, or more of the red cards that are going to come out later in the track, and there's 15 spaces instead of your standard 10 spaces. So it makes the game go a little bit longer, closer to 45 to 60 minutes. On top of that, if you are really good at word games or you've played this a whole lot and you've just gotten too good at the 25-second timer, the game will also come with a 15-second timer as well. So technically you can play each side on each of the timers, so effectively giving you 4 different modes of play. The game's going to come with, by default, 400 cards. They are active on Kickstarter right now, and they have a number of stretch goals that are trying to add in additional of the different cards. So by going, either signing up for their newsletter, sharing the Kickstarter link and the Facebook page, those are all ways that you're going to be able to support their campaign, get the word out about it, and continue to increase the amount of content that comes in this box. Now, again, this is a prototype, so a few things I'm going to kind of mention, but again, all these things are subject to change. I do feel like the box is a little bigger than it needs to be, so I'm hoping that this prototype is purely just kind of what they had available to put together. I hope it's a little bit smaller, maybe more like a Munchkin box, unless the cards are going to be bigger, or they're going to have a nice insert in here to kind of hold everything, because...
Well, keep in mind, if there's going to be 400 cards, there's going to be a little bit more into that.
A little bit more. I'm imagining right now all the 400 cards would fit in this little area right here, and then have a little bit of open space for like the board and stuff like that. But again, this is all prototype that we're looking at right now. We don't have the sand timers that would go in here. That's the only thing I can really think of in terms of a criticism that I've seen so far in the prototype is purely the box is a little bigger than what I was expecting. Other than that, the game is really simple to teach. We went on a little longer than what I would probably normally do if we were showing this at the shop. I would say in a normal setting with fresh people to this, I can teach this game in probably about 7-8 minutes, get them playing, maybe talk through some of the different combinations. I'll probably get them into the game even quicker than that, actually. So it's a very simple game to learn. It's definitely challenging, depending on your how good you are at word games and stuff like that. So I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's priced in the mid-20s range. I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's 25 or 29. But definitely go to Kickstarter, look for the game VOWL, and give them a little bit of support and decide if it's a game you want to back. I believe there's even a retail option for, I think, 5 of these or something like that. Again, go to the Kickstarter, check it out. I believe you can get the rules off of there, so you can see if there's anything that maybe we missed. I believe we covered everything, but as always, I recommend people go and look at rules just because we are human and we might make mistakes. So, hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you check it out and give them some support. Yeah. All right. Thank you.